Welcome, young Shadow, to the far future of the Grim Shadows universe. Welcome to the Carrion Empire, Part 1. History and Power Structure. The Carrion Empire is a human civilization that spans thousands of star systems during what historians call the Second Dark Age. It rose from the remains of the old Imperium that collapsed 1,000 years ago after the assassination of the last emperor, Orion Sol Phoenix. In the centuries that followed, regional warlords, noble families, and religious factions fought until the Ordinate of the Divine Codex, the Codex Knights, enforced an empire-wide ceasefire. They revived fragments of the old imperial charter and forged it into Codex law, the single structure preventing humanity's final civil collapse. The Codex Knights occupy the imperial system, a fortified cluster of tomb worlds and command stations surrounding the Emperor's shrine world. From there, they interpret and enforce Codex law. They are both monks and soldiers, armed with pre-fall relics and absolute legal authority. Their weapons include gravity-reactive armor, disintegrator rifles, and ships faster than anything the houses can build. Outside the imperial system, 10 great houses divide the empire into major sectors. Each house maintains its own fleets and armies, but must obey Codex law. 3 houses were destroyed for rebellion or heresy. 10 remain recognized. The 10 great houses are Scorpion, masters of covert warfare; Raven, keepers of data and memory; Lion, heirs of imperial tradition; Shark, rulers of space warfare and trade routes; Wolf, specialists in siege and frontier defense; Snake, genetic manipulators and diplomats; Dragon, psionic weapon engineers; Phoenix, descendants of the last emperor; Mantis, martial perfectionists and ritual duelists; Spider, informants and economic manipulators. The 3 forbidden houses are Gorgon, Jackal and Kraken, each destroyed under Codex fire for rebellion, assassination or heresy. Each great house holds a seat on the High Council of Peers, convened once every century to renew the peace accords. Between councils, minor wars continue as sanctioned duels, espionage and economic sabotage. No house can openly invade another without facing Codex retaliation. Real power inside the Empire is divided between the Codex Knights, the Church of Holy Light, and the Guild of Unified Commerce, law, faith, and economy. Together they preserve a civilization that has not advanced in 1,000 years, but refuses to die. Part 2. Religion, Economics, and Technology. The Church of Holy Light is the dominant religion of the Carrion Empire. Its core doctrine teaches that humanity's fall came from worship of its own machines. The Church preaches 3 illuminations: the flesh is sacred, the machine must serve, and the void is corruption. Its leader, the Pontifex Radiant, rules from the throne of glass, an orbital reliquary above the world Solara Prime. His mind is preserved through neural relay. His words transmitted across the empire as the voice of dawn. Below him stand the Cardinals of Flame, planetary prelates, and the militant Order of the Sanctified Blade. Their job is to hunt heretics, void users, and unlicensed AI. Public executions called cleansings of light are common. Genetic inspections and purity audits occur regularly. The Church allows simple automation but bans self-aware machines, heavy cybernetics, and any form of psychic or void manipulation. It sees the mechanical Kraz Empire beyond the rim as proof of what happens when creation rules its creator. Economic stability depends on the Guild of Unified Commerce. The Guild controls all interstellar trade, ship production, and technological education. Only Guild-licensed technicians may operate relic machinery. Unauthorized research is tech blasphemy. The Guild's human computers are called Tau engineers. They train from childhood in deep focus meditation and chemical conditioning to perform the calculations once handled by AI. High-grade Tau engineers can model whole economies in real time. The Church tolerates them because they remain human, though their mental discipline borders on heresy. Technologically, the Empire is stagnant. Ships run on rebuilt pre-fall drives that no one truly understands. Weapons and shields are relics passed down through noble lineages. The knowledge to create new technology has mostly vanished. Innovation risks excommunication. Preservation is considered virtue. Part 3. The Black Monoliths, the Void Realm, and the Rise of the Cults. Long before the Carrion Empire's rise, explorers found the first black monoliths drifting in dead systems, vast, seamless spires that predate every known civilization. Their surfaces are neither stone nor metal and reflect no light, yet they pulse with gravitational waves that twist both space and memory. They emit whispers across psychic bands, echoing thoughts not their own. The Codex forbids their study, but every great house secretly seeks one. Possession of a monolith brings influence and terror in equal measure, for the Knights of the Codex claim these spires are not artifacts, but anchors to the Void Realm, a dimension outside time and light, where physics dissolves and thought itself breeds monsters. From that realm come the Voidborn, entities that mimic human form, wearing fragments of flesh like clothing. They feed on fear, memory, and emotion, thriving wherever despair outweighs hope. When slain by ordinary weapons, they dissolve into shadow and return to the Void Realm, waiting to re-emerge in new hosts. Only fire, faith, or disintegration can destroy them completely. Fire to burn their echo, faith to sever their anchor, and disintegration to erase their pattern from reality. The Empire calls them monsters, the Church calls them heresy made flesh. But the poor call them salvation, across the lower districts of the great houses, in the slums beneath fortress cities, and the shanty moons where the nobility never walk. The forgotten and the broken have turned to the void. They worship the old names whispered by the monoliths: Malzaroth, the Black Dream, Ithral, the Endless Mouth, and Nithra, the Unseen Queen. These cults promise release from servitude, offering their followers the chance to be remade, to cast off human weakness and join the eternal silence beyond the stars. They spread through poverty, addiction, and grief, feeding on the misery created by the noble houses themselves. To the Codex Knights, the cultists are a contagion. To the Church, they are blasphemy. But to the hungry, the broken, and the abandoned, they are the only faith that ever answers. And as the black suns burn lower each century, more voices whisper the same forbidden truth. The monoliths are not relics, they are doors, and one day those doors will open. Part 4. Modern Era, Phoenix Heresy, and the Void Runners. The Empire endures through fear and routine. The Codex. Knights guard the imperial system. The great houses fight limited wars. The Church keeps faith under control. The Guild keeps trade moving. But one group moves freely between all borders: the Void Runners. Void Runners are independent captains who surrender all house citizenship and swear allegiance directly to the ordinate of the Divine Codex. Their oath grants neutral status recognized by every house. They can travel where others cannot, carrying messages, transporting envoys, and executing bounties across sector lines without triggering war. Each carries a Codex Charter of Passage, a legal document renewed every 10 years. Their ships display the Black Sun Codex seal, and their logs are inspected by the Bureau of Passage. Attacking a chartered Void Runner is a Level 1 Codex violation, punishable by immediate fleet sanction. They are couriers, bounty hunters, and traders of necessity. They deliver prisoners, recover relics, and ferry officials between hostile houses. Most begin as officers or pilots within their birthhouses, then renounce family and rank. Renunciation burns their sigil from the uniform. From that moment they belong only to the law. The oath of the void is simple. I surrender my crest, my house, my blood. I take the seal and the void as my kin. No flag but the Codex, no law but the law. Their neutrality makes them indispensable. The houses need them for communication. The Church uses them for covert transport. The Guild hires them for trade, where monopoly treaties forbid competition. To common citizens, they are the last free men in a chained galaxy. Many come from House Shark, whose fleets once destroyed the heretic House Kraken. Fast attack Shark vessels make ideal runner ships, small, durable, and fast. These captains know border patrols, and their presence usually ends a blockade without bloodshed. Void Runner ships are compact courier frigates fitted with Tau navigation cores and codex beacons. They may carry limited weapons for defense, but nothing strong enough to threaten a house fleet. Every quarter they submit flight data to Codex Command. Falsifying records ends the charter and the captain's life. Beyond the Void Runners lies the Phoenix heresy. House Phoenix, descended from Emperor Orion Sol Phoenix, continues forbidden cloning experiments to resurrect him. The Church calls it blasphemy. The Codex calls it treason. 2 Phoenix research moons have already been destroyed under purity protocols. Still, the House persists, believing a reborn emperor could unify mankind. If that ever happens, the Void Runners will be the first to carry the news, and the first to die for it. On the Empire's fringes exist the Outworld Baronies, human and mutant kingdoms formed from exiles. Some trade with the houses, others raid convoys. Farther still is the Kraz Empire, a machine civilization that never speaks. Every engagement ends the same way: total silence, no survivors, no transmissions. Inside the core, social mobility is minimal. Citizens are born to a house, a guild franchise, or a church commune. Education teaches obedience and trade skills, not invention. The average lifespan is stable due to relic medicine, but population growth declines each century. Few new colonies have been founded in generations. The Codex Knights describe the age as the long stasis, a calculated peace where progress is forbidden and rebellion is unthinkable. Reform movements exist but rarely survive inspection. The system endures because every faction fears what would replace it. The Carrion Empire is a civilization sustained by memory. Its houses rule by tradition, its church by fear, its guild by control, and across that decaying order move the Void Runners, citizens of no world, bound only by law and the endless dark. When the houses close their borders and the Codex locks its gates, the Runners keep the stars connected. They are the Empire's last motion in a universe that has forgotten how to move. Some say the Carrion Empire is in its last days. Others say a new golden age will begin soon. Only time will tell.